Welcome back to Everyday English Lounge. If you are listening with one eye open, one sock missing, and a cup of something warm nearby, you are in exactly the right place.
And if your alarm already rang 3 times and now it is acting innocent, we see that too. The snooze button has strong theater energy in the morning.
It really does. It is never just a button. It becomes a lawyer, a poet, and a life coach all at once.
Rest is important. Tomorrow is a new day. 5 more minutes will change everything. Very persuasive. Very dishonest.
So today we are talking about something for people who want to improve their English in the morning without depending on heroic motivation.
Which is good because heroic motivation is usually asleep. It wakes up around 11:40 a.m. and then asks why we did not become a better person at 6:30.
Exactly. If you have ever promised yourself a beautiful morning English routine and then watched it disappear by Wednesday, this episode is for you.
And if you have restarted the same habit so many times that even your notebook looks tired, this episode is also for you.
We want to make this very simple and very real. Not the perfect sunrise version of you. Not the person who studies beside a window with a pen placed at an artistic angle.
Yes, we are building for the sleepy you, the late you, the messy-haired you, the where is my bag you.
This episode is around B1 to B2 level, so some parts may sound a little more natural. But we will keep the language clear and easy to follow.
And if you miss a few words, that is okay. Stay with the main idea first. And near the end, we will do a slow word tour so you can hear the useful expressions again and keep them.
If you enjoy this kind of quiet, practical conversation, you can subscribe and come back for the next one.
And if one friend came to mind already, send this to them later too. If that friend is basically your half-awake future self, that still counts.
We do, so let us frame the topic simply. Today is about building a morning English habit that does not rely on willpower.
Meaning we are not asking, how can I force myself harder? We are asking, how can I make the first step so easy and so normal that I begin before my excuses fully? Wake up?
That matters in real life because mornings set the tone for the day. Not in a dramatic way, just quietly. One small action early can tell your brain, I still care about this. I am still in the game.
And that message is powerful for language learning, because English gets better through repeated contact, small contact, regular contact, not one giant perfect study session every 10 days.
So if your English has felt far away lately, maybe the answer is not more pressure. Maybe it is a gentler start.
A start that can happen while water is boiling, while bread is in the toaster, while you wait for the elevator that always arrives like it has no respect for urgency.
Let us begin with the first big shift. Stop designing your habit for your ideal self. Design it for your morning self.
This one hurts a little because people love planning for their fantasy version. That version drinks water, stretches, journals, studies, phrasal verbs, and smiles at the sunrise.
Meanwhile, the real version is looking for a charger and wondering why one shoe is under the chair.
Or why the refrigerator light feels so personal at 6:52.
Here is the common mistake. A learner decides, from tomorrow, I will study English every morning for 30 minutes before work. That sounds serious. It sounds respectable.
It also sounds like a plan made by someone who has never met a weekday.
Right. The plan fails not because the person is weak, but because the starting point is too far away. The habit asks for too much too early.
I want to challenge one piece of that, though. Sometimes people hear this and think, so I should lower the goal until it means nothing.
Good challenge. No, not until it means nothing. Lower it until it becomes repeatable. Those are different things.
Repeatable is the key word, because a tiny habit done often changes you more than a large habit you keep rewriting in your head.
Picture a real morning. You walk into the kitchen. You put the kettle on. You are not inspired. You are not glowing with discipline. You are simply there.
This is where we stop asking for a whole study session and start asking for one tiny contact with English.
Maybe while the water heats, you play a 60-second English clip you already chose the night before.
Maybe you read one sentence from a card on the table and say it out loud once, even with your morning voice that sounds like it belongs to a different species.
Maybe you open the same short note on your phone every day and read 3 lines. That counts. It counts because it happened and because it is easy to repeat tomorrow.
Some people resist that. They say, but that is too small. That is not real study.
I hear that a lot. But small does not mean fake. Small means the door is open. And once the door is open, some mornings you may naturally do more.
And some mornings, you will not, which is fine, because the job of the habit is not to impress you. The job is to continue.
There is a useful idea here called habit stacking. In simple words, it means you attach a new action to one that already happens.
So not, I will practice English at some point in the morning. That is fog. Instead, after I start the kettle, I will listen to 1 minute of English.
Or, after I sit on the edge of the bed, I will say one sentence in English. Or, after I brush my teeth, I will read one short line.
The existing action is the anchor. Your brain does not have to search for a time. It sees the old action and remembers the new one.
That matters because mornings are full of automatic behavior. You do many things without debate. We want English to join that quiet stream.
Not as a guest star, as a regular neighbor.
Let me give you a more specific scene. Imagine a listener who works in an office and leaves home at 7:40 every week. She tells herself she will wake up 30 minutes earlier to study English properly.
The word properly is often trouble.
It can be, because in her mind, properly means desk, notebook, perfect focus, maybe even silence. But her actual morning has messages, weather, breakfast, and a half-packed bag.
Also, one mysterious moment where she just stands in the middle of the room holding a spoon, for no reason.
Exactly. So instead of asking for the proper session, she changes the design. She puts one sticky note on the kettle with a question. What is one thing I need today?
And when the water starts heating, she answers in English. I need patience. I need my keys. I need a calm morning, not a speech. Just one sentence.
The next week, she notices something surprising. She is not doing more English in a dramatic way, but she is doing English every weekday. Her identity begins to shift.
She becomes a person who meets English in the morning instead of a person who just keeps planning to.
That shift matters emotionally. Many learners are not only fighting time, they are carrying disappointment. They think, I always stop. I am the kind of person who cannot keep going.
And then they create a bigger plan to fix the shame, which is like trying to balance a cup on top of another cup on top of a moving bus.
Beautiful image, slightly stressful but accurate.
Thank you. I bring unstable public transportation metaphors to the table.
So if that disappointment lives in you, hear this clearly. You do not need a stronger speech in the mirror. You need a smaller first action.
Something humble enough to survive a normal Tuesday.
And I want to ask you, the listener, a direct question. What already happens every morning no matter how you feel? Kettle, coffee, shower, bus stop, tying your shoes, waiting for the elevator?
Start there. Not with the best moment. Start with the inevitable moment.
Because if the habit depends on a perfect mood, it is not really a habit yet. It is a performance invitation.
And mornings are not good at performance. They are good at repetition.
Now let us move to the second shift. If you want a habit that does not depend on willpower, reduce friction before morning begins.
This is my favorite part, because it respects how lazy the human brain can be before breakfast.
I would call it efficient, not lazy.
Fine. Efficient in the direction of staying under a blanket.
Friction means any small difficulty that makes starting less likely. Too many choices, a hidden app, dead headphones, a lesson you have to search for, a notebook under three other things.
Or a plan that begins with, first I will decide what to study. Morning you does not want a committee meeting.
Exactly. Decision-making costs energy. If your English habit starts with 5 choices, it may die before action begins.
So the night before is where the kind version of you helps the sleepy version of you.
Let us make that practical. Choose one resource only for the week. One short podcast episode, one set of sentence cards, one voice note routine, one tiny reading file.
Not 7 tabs. Not a folder called Morning English Final Really Final. New version.
Please do not attack people through file names.
I am attacking my own history, to be fair.
Then place the starting point where your body will meet it. Put the headphones beside the mug. Leave the sentence card on the table. Open the audio app to the exact clip.
Your mug still cannot teach English, but it can become an employee of the system.
This is our first callback to the ceremonial mug, and I am comfortable with that.
The mug has earned a second scene.
Here is another daily life example. A parent wants to keep English in the morning, but the house is noisy. One child cannot find a sock, and the calendar already feels aggressive.
Aggressive calendars are real. They look normal, but spiritually, they are shouting.
So this parent prepares a tiny script the night before and sticks it on the fridge. Today will be busy, but I can still do one small thing.
In the morning, while packing lunch, the parent reads that line once in English and adds one more sentence out loud. I will listen to 2 minutes while walking.
Notice what is happening. The habit is not waiting for peace. It is fitting into motion.
And I want to sharpen something there. A lot of people secretly believe a good habit should feel pure. Quiet desk, clean table, full attention, but many adult routines are built inside noise.
Yes, real life is not ruining your habit. Real life is where the habit must live.
So if your morning English happens while you cut fruit, wait for the bus, or stand in line for coffee, that is not lower quality as a habit. It may actually be more stable.
Because stable habits attach to real patterns, not imaginary ones.
There's another helpful idea called the 2-minute rule. The meaning is simple. Make the first version of the habit short enough that you can begin without resistance.
That does not mean the habit must always end at 2 minutes. It means the entry point should be very small.
So your rule could be, I only need to read one line, or I only need to shadow one sentence. Shadowing means you repeat after audio to match rhythm and sound.
Once you start, you may keep going. But the win comes from starting, not from forcing more every time.
Let me offer a commuter scene. Someone leaves home, walks to the station, and usually scrolls on the phone half awake. The plan has always been, I should study on the train.
Which sounds possible, but it is vague.
Right, so they change it. Before bed, they download one short audio clip. They put earbuds in the coat pocket. In the morning, the new rule is, when I lock the door, I press play.
No search. No choosing. No debate.
On the train, they listen to the same 90 seconds twice. First, just listening. Second time, repeating one sentence softly.
After 2 weeks, the person feels less guilty and more connected. The amount is still small, but now English belongs to a place in the day.
Which is much more powerful than admiring study plans from a distance.
I also want to talk about visual cues. A cue is a signal that reminds you to act. For some people, sound works best. For others, sight works best.
If you always ignore phone reminders, stop pretending the 10th notification will finally become magical.
Thank you for the honesty.
You are welcome. Put the cue where your eyes already go. On the kettle, on the bathroom mirror, on the lunch bag, on the front door at eye level.
But keep the message simple. Not become fluent through disciplined daily effort. That is too heavy at 7005.
Better, one sentence. Or press play. Or English while water boils.
Small language invites action. Grand language invites avoidance.
That line is worth writing down.
Another misunderstanding appears here. People say, if I need all these reminders, maybe I'm just not motivated enough.
I strongly disagree with that. Reminders are not proof of weakness. They are proof that memory is busy.
Yes, support is not cheating. A chair is support. Glasses are support. Calendar alerts are support. A sentence card is support.
And support is especially wise in the morning, because the brain is already spending energy on waking up, planning, moving, and recovering from that dramatic speech by the snooze button.
There he is again. Second callback achieved.
He will invoice us later.
So ask yourself this. Where does your habit actually get stuck? Is it before the first step? During the search? At the point of choosing? Or after one missed day?
Your answer matters, because the fix is different. If you cannot start, shrink the step. If you keep searching, remove choices. If you forget, improve the cue.
And if you miss days and feel the whole thing collapse, then the third shift is for you. Build a habit with a reset path, not just a success path.
This may be the most important one emotionally, because most habits do not end when people get busy. They end when people make the busy day mean too much.
Exactly. A person misses one morning, then thinks, see, I failed again. That thought hurts, and then the next morning becomes heavier.
By day 3, the habit is no longer a tiny action. It is a relationship problem.
So let us change the story. Missing once is normal. Drifting is normal. The question is not, will I ever drift? The question is, what do I do when drift happens?
Drift means you slowly move away from the routine without deciding to. One late night, one rushed morning, one weekend trip, and suddenly the habit feels far.
This is where many people make a bad deal with themselves. They say, I will make up for it tomorrow by doing double.
Please, do not hand tomorrow that bill.
Thank you. Tomorrow did not agree to that.
Tomorrow is already carrying enough.
Instead, create a minimum version for hard mornings. Not the normal version, the emergency version.
The version that can still happen when it is raining, you overslept, and your brain feels like a drawer full of loose paper.
For one learner, the minimum version might be this: say one sentence in English before leaving home.
For another, it might be, play 20 seconds of audio while putting on shoes.
For another, it might be, read one question and answer it with 3 words. How do I feel? A little rushed.
That last one is especially good, because it keeps English connected to real life, not school energy.
Let us imagine a hard morning. A listener slept badly. The room feels cold. There is an early meeting. The original plan was 10 minutes of listening and 5 minutes of speaking.
That plan is not happening.
Probably not. So instead of calling the day a failure, the listener uses the reset path. While putting on a coat, they say, today is messy, but I am still here.
12 words. That is it.
And those 12 words protect the thread.
That phrase matters. Protect the thread. Do not demand a perfect fabric every day. Just protect the thread that connects today to tomorrow.
Beautifully said.
Thank you. I'm trying to recover from the moving bus cup metaphor.
You are doing well.
I appreciate that medically unconfirmed support.
Here's another imagined scene. Someone is traveling for work, new hotel, different bathroom light, no usual mug, which I know is hard for you.
Devastating. The ceremonial mug community is under pressure.
Still, the person does not try to copy the home routine exactly. That is another key point. A stable habit can have different versions for different contexts.
Home version, travel version, sick day version, late version. Same identity, different size.
So in the hotel room, the morning English habit becomes one simple voice note. The person says, today I will keep it short. I need clear words and calm energy.
That takes maybe 15 seconds, but it preserves continuity. When they return home, the normal routine is easier to restart because nothing dramatic was broken.
I want to gently challenge another belief here. Some people think consistency means doing the same amount every day.
I do not buy that at all. Real consistency is returning. The amount can change. The return is the skill.
Yes, consistency is not sameness, it is reconnection.
That is why shame is such bad fuel. Shame makes the habit feel like a courtroom, but language learning needs more of a kitchen feeling. Come in, do a little, come back tomorrow.
Very on brand for us. Quiet kitchen energy.
With a unionized mug,
Let us give the listener one practical reset sentence. If you miss a morning, say this the next day: I am not behind, I am back.
short, calm, no drama. Not, this time I will finally change my life forever. Just, I am back.
You can even put that sentence where your habit begins.
On the kettle, on the door, on the first screen of your phone, on the notebook that has seen things.
And one more direct question for you. What is your smallest possible return? Not your proudest version, your smallest possible return.
If you know that answer in advance, a hard morning stops being a full decision crisis.
Because the path is already there.
Which brings us to something simple and important. A morning English habit works best when it answers 3 questions clearly.
When will it happen?
What is the smallest version?
And how will I restart after a miss?
If you can answer those, you no longer need to rely on a speech, a mood, or a sudden burst of discipline.
You rely on design, on cues, on environment, on kindness toward your real life.
And that kindness is not soft in a weak way. It is precise. It removes the things that usually break the habit.
So before we move into our word tour, let us quickly gather the heart of this episode. Do not build for the best version of yourself. Build for the version who is already moving through a normal morning.
Make the first step tiny enough to begin. Put it next to something that already happens. Prepare the path before you are tired. And keep a reset version for difficult days.
You are not trying to win the morning. You are trying to meet it.
Preferably before the snooze button starts giving legal advice again.
Now let us slow down and do our word tour. 10 useful items from today with simple meanings, examples, and repeat cues.
If you can, say the repeat parts out loud. Quietly is fine. Whisper-level bravery absolutely counts.
Item 1 is rely on. Rely on means depend on something for help or success. Example, I do not want to rely on motivation every morning. Repeat, rely on.
Item 2 is willpower. Willpower means the mental force you use to make yourself do something difficult. Example, my willpower is low before coffee. Repeat, willpower.
Item 3 is cue. A cue is a signal that reminds you to do an action. Example, the kettle is my cue to start English. Repeat, cue.
Item 4 is friction. Friction means a small difficulty that makes action less likely. Example, too many app choices create friction. Repeat, friction.
Item 5 is anchor. An anchor is the stable thing you attach a new habit to. Example, brushing my teeth is the anchor for one English sentence. Repeat, anchor.
Item 6 is habit stacking. Habit stacking means adding a new action right after an old, regular action. Example, after I make tea, I play one short clip. Repeat, habit stacking.
Item 7 is tiny win. A tiny win is a very small success that still matters because it keeps momentum alive. Example, reading one line was a tiny win on a busy day. Repeat, tiny win.
Item 8 is drift. Drift means to slowly move away from a routine without planning to. Example, I drifted from my morning English during travel week. Repeat, drift.
Item 9 is reset. Reset means to start again in a simple, calm way after a break or problem. Example, after 2 missed mornings, I used a one-sentence reset. Repeat, reset.
Item 10 is stick with. Stick with means continue doing something even when it is not perfect or easy. Example, I can stick with this habit because it is small. Repeat, stick with.
Let us go over them one more time a little more naturally so they stay in your ear. If you rely on something, you trust it to hold part of the job.
And if that thing is only willpower, the job may be in danger before sunrise.
A cue helps you remember. It is the little signal that says, now, this is the moment.
Friction is the opposite feeling. Friction says, first solve 3 annoying problems. That is why friction needs to get smaller.
Your anchor is the old action that is already part of your life. That is why anchors are so useful. They do not need a grand introduction.
Habit stacking is simply the move of placing the new action after the anchor. Old action, then new action. Very humble, very effective.
A tiny win may look unimpressive from the outside, but inside a habit, it is powerful because it keeps the story going.
Drift is normal. It is not a moral event. It is just distance. And distance can be closed.
Reset is how you close it, not with punishment, not with a giant promise, just with a calm return.
And when a habit is realistic, you can stick with it long enough to feel the benefit. That final phrase, stick with, is especially warm to me.
Me too. Because many people do not need a more exciting plan. They need a plan gentle enough to stick with.
So here's a quick spoken review. Rely on, depend on. Willpower, mental force. Cue, reminder signal. Friction, starting difficulty. Anchor, stable old action.
Habit stacking, add the new action after the old one. Tiny win, a small success that still counts. Drift, move away slowly. Reset, begin again. Stick with, continue over time.
If you want, pick just 2 of those today and use them in your own sentence. For example, my cue is the kettle. Or, I need a reset, not a speech.
That second sentence is excellent and may be useful in more areas of life than we expected.
Very true. Possibly for email, possibly for Monday.
Take one slow breath with us before we close.
If your mornings have felt messy lately, that does not mean you are bad at habits. It may only mean your habit needs a kinder shape.
Your tiny homework is this. Choose one morning anchor and decide your smallest English action for tomorrow.
Then write one reset sentence for hard days. It can be as simple as, I am not behind. I am back.
If you want, tell us in the comments what you will attach English to tomorrow and what your smallest reset version will be.
We really do read those, and your answer might help another listener build a gentler morning.
If this episode helped, you can like it or subscribe and come back for the next one.
And if one friend came to mind while you were listening, send it to them too.
Especially if they are still waiting for the perfect morning to begin.
Small brave starts count. Quiet progress counts.
I am Mia.
And I am Leo. We will see you next time on Everyday English Lounge.